Why? Hello, dear viewer, and welcome back to a new episode of Deep Proletarian. Today, we will be doing something that's more mainstream, which is doing a tier list. I mean, that's as mainstream as it gets, doesn't it? We're going through a Whole Night Areas tier list, which I found on Tier List Maker or Tier Maker online. And I'm going to do mine, and then we're going to watch the community rack. And just so you know, these are the available options which we have here. We've got the Ancient Basin, City of Tears, Crystal Peak, Deep Nest, Dirtmouth, Fog Canyon, Crossroads, Fungal Wastes, Green Path, Howling Cliffs, Kingdom's Edge, Coins, Guns, Resting Grounds, Waterway, and the Hive. Now, there are specific categories which I have here, which is S, A, B, C, D, D being the worst, of course, and S being fantastic. And we're just going to rank them based on a few things which I personally like design, how much value they have in the story, the enemies, the music as well. I'm not going to go through each category and then be like, in Ancient Basin you've got that, and that. I'm just going to do it personally, how I mostly feel about these things. Now you might be saying, Deep Proletarian, you stupid son of a gun, you already technically did a video where you listed your top 3 areas, which was your 100 subscriber special. And I would say to you, wow, you're good at noticing my rather unknown videos. I mean, that's impressive. That video only had a few hundred views, I think. I'm going to link it above in the info box, just so maybe you could look at it. But yeah, I mean, that's true, but my opinion has changed a bit, and I mostly do it improv. I just mostly look what I like, and then I just do it. So, and also we've got all the areas here, so now you can see what my opinions are on the rest of them. And to start out, we're going to start with the Ancient Basin. The Ancient Basin is one of the more unknown areas, I would say, because I've traveled a bit in it, and it looked really cool, which is a plus point. It's got a really cool design. I didn't really notice the music, that was really impressive. I mean, it probably is. I mean, all of the music in Whole Night is pretty well done. I mean, there's no specific theme where I would be like, well, that's bloody awful. It's all pretty well done. But compared to other tracks, like from other maps, I don't know. I don't really feel like I've heard that much of the Ancient Basin to justify it being there. It's got a few cool bosses, like I forgot his name. The other knight, the infected knight. I forgot his bloody name. Shitebags. Yeah, well, you know what I mean. It's got a few good bosses. It's pretty interesting. I don't know. It's cool. I guess it's cool. It has a few spike key thingies which I don't like. I'd assume more of the B category, to be honest. It's more like a B for Basin, you know. B Basin. That's basically it. Now, City of Tears definitely goes into A rank, because City of Tears is like a really cool map. I love City of Tears because it gives off that whole fallen civilization vibe very much. I mean, Dirtmouth is also pretty close, but I mean, it's been kind of small in like ever, even though it was populated a bit more before, you know, the fall of Howlness. But I mean, City of Tears is like the prime example for how the kingdom fell. It's like the shining symbol of why the kingdom fell. It's also got that cool rain effect. The music's really good. It links to all the different areas. It's like basically like the hub, sorta. You've got a lot of cool enemies there. It's technically already an S rank, but for me it never stood out that much that it was that fantastic. There were other areas where I thought, wow, I liked them a lot more than the City of Tears. I found myself returning to them a lot more than I did to the City of Tears. City of Tears I just basically went to because of necessity. There were other areas which I thought were far more interesting. But it's cool. You meet Hornet there, that's cool. You meet Collector Lem, that's cool. It's fantastic, lovely. Tower of Love, great addition. I don't know if it still lies in that area, but it's kind of connected to the city, you know. Crystal Peak for me is kinda, it's hard. Because I should maybe first talk about it. So Crystal Peak, it's got like a really cool design. It's cool how you enter it, like crashing down, and then you see all these different bugs, and you've also collect some new abilities. I forgot which one. You kill like a frozen snail shaman, and you get like an ability, but I forgot what it was. Damn it. But it was a really cool like idea. You fight the Crystal Guardian, I think it was, and also the other version of him. But I mean, that's not really that much interesting. But the way the Crystal Guardian was introduced was also really cool. It was like sitting on the bench and stuff, and you're kind of hoping to get a save point, and suddenly the dig just springs awake, and you have to kind of fight him. Now the lore, I guess it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I mean, you can through the Crystal Peak you can get to the top of Halness, which is really cool. Where you can see the statue, which is important to the lore, and you also get some iron ore there. And I mean, like the crystal sea, it's kind of connected to the lore. It's a bit. I mean, it's not really that important to the grand scheme, but it's still pretty interesting. The bugs in there are cool. I like the mining idea, especially with Myla. That was sad. That was a sad story. I didn't want to come back. I wanted to keep her alive, but I mean, had to do it at some point. So yeah, traumatic experiences. Crystal Peak. And it also has good music. It has some pretty good music. So you go in A. Yeah, I think that's fair. It's kind of good. You don't have more to do than City of Tears, I would say, but it's still pretty good. Deep Nest. Ooh, this will trigger a few people because I would put either B or C because it's I don't like it. I do like it in some terms. I think it's mysterious. I think it has a lot of lore connected to the second game. I like the idea of spiders. I like the Forgotten Village thing. I didn't really care for the music. I didn't really care for the characters which were there, like I forgot her name, the one that's creepy and snaps at you. I probably will just put an image up so on screen so you know which one I'm talking about, because I'm dumb. I'm forgetting all the names at the moment. I don't know. It's not really. It didn't quite hit me like that much. I don't know. Deepness wasn't really that my type. Maybe it's because I'm shit scared of spiders, like in all kinds of form, even if they're small. I don't know. I don't like them. So, but I have to give credit where it's like due. So it's a B category. It's a B1. Dirtmouth. Now Dirtmouth, that's an S tier rank. That's just big. Why you might say? It's a small town. You get to do basically you get to do nothing. It's not really that important, is it? I'd be saying that's true, but it's Dirtmouth. And Dirtmouth, first of all, has really good music. It's cool. It's the starting town, and more than anything else in the game, Dirtmouth is kind of like the point where you feel safe. Like when you travel down, or you're still in the cliffs, you don't feel safe. You're like, oh shit, what's gonna come next? It's like a monster going to spring out, and oh god, it's all these different creatures that are trying to kill me. Dirtmouth doesn't have that. It's safe. It's so safe. You meet Elderbug and he's cute, and you give him the flower and it's even cuter, and it's just safe. It's just a safe point, and I like being safe. feeling safe in the game where you're supposed to not feel safe. So I just like it. I just love Dirtmouth and the characters there. Fog Canyon, that's a C. What? How can you classify it as a C? Well, because for me it more or less felt like a transit area. I explored Fog Canyon really late into the game. Like I didn't want to map it. I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. It always felt like really annoying with me, with these stupid fucking floaty thingies which crash landed into me and exploded. That was annoying. And I know the music is okay, and the laboratory and stuff you all get to see later on, but I never really found it that enticing. I found other areas much more interesting. I know you might be triggered now, but I don't know. I'm sorry. Forgotten Crossroads. Now that's an A. That's an A rank. That's an. I don't know why. Yeah, here. That's an A tier. That's an A tier area. Why? Because well, it's the starting point, and it's also like a sort of pre-hub before you go into the City of Tears, because it also connects different areas, such as Crystal Peaks or well, Green Path. And it looks really cool. The music's really good. The characters there are pretty good. I mean, you get the charms there and stuff, so that's cool. It's good. It's also in addition to Dirtmouth, you get to see all the characters which from Forgotten Crossroads you get here, which is all the characters move from there to there. It's good. It's good planning. Fungal Waste. Now that is an S tier rank. Now I'm probably going. Will we even get one which was a D? I don't know. We're going to see. Now, fungal waste I always liked because I love the mushrooms. They are really cool. I like the mantis village. That's amazing. I like the boss fight. You know, the mantis bosses and stuff. I forgot the name again. Not Trader Lords. Mantis Lords? Was it Mantis Lords? I don't know. They were cool. It was a really great area. I don't know. Okay, Mr. Mushroom probably came from it. Or something. I loved it. I loved it. The music's probably the best thing about it. I don't know. It's somehow it's just like a personal feeling that I really love that bloody area. So whatever. Green Path. Now that's technically over S tier. It's like S plus. Green Path is probably my favorite area in the entire game. And for some of you it might be like, why? Because there's not much going on. But I just love it. I love the whole green aesthetic. The music is fantastic. Like, it's amazing how great it is. I listen to it all the time basically. It's probably the most soothing and relaxing music which I could ever imagine. And it fits Hollow Knight so well. Oh, incredible. It's so incredible. I don't know. It's sort of the best thing about this game. And I knew it as soon as I entered Green Path, like with the you have to go left from this giant thing in Forgotten Crossroads. You have to go left and defeat this one enemy which you can't defeat at first. You have to get the one ability from the Slayer Shaman. And as soon as you entered, and you know, basically with the lakes and he's also there, and Hornet is there. You get to see Hornet like another character, another living being, which is also down here. That's really good. And I don't know, it's just probably my favorite aspect from the entire game. Even though it's quite annoying sometimes with the thorns and stuff. That's annoying. That's probably the only negative aspect. But aside that, it's just bloody amazing. I just love it. Howling Cliffs. Now that's hard because from a standpoint, I really like this as an opening to the game. It would classify as a B because it's the beginning. Would be, you know, and it's really interesting. But gotta be honest, there's not a lot to do there. There's no real boss. I think you activate the Grim Troop, which is kind of cool. It's also kind of a boss that would technically classify to Dirt Mouse. You know, Dirt Mouse would technically be that would be the boss for Dirt Mouse, the Grim Troop. But there's a lot going on, and even though the music is quite okay, I would say, I don't know. It just doesn't justify it being like anywhere near these areas here. Even though I probably would like it more personally than Deepness, but Deepness I have to give credit because it's like such a cool idea and design. Kingdom's Edge is also S tier. You notice that I'm kind of ranking these as I go along. Kingdom's Edge is fantastic. It's probably the most interesting area for me in the entire game because it first of all has this like worm shell which looks really cool. It's got the whole winter and snowy aesthetic. Then the whole the one part, I don't know if you know, I probably will put a picture on the screen, where it's like I like these dead bugs resting in this little tipi or something, and you see the outside world a bit, and it's basically the one thing that shows like a continuation to other areas for me the most. It's like the one area where I'm like thinking of the grander world of this kingdom and all the other creatures within it, and Farloom and stuff. It's basically the best part. And then also, as the enemies are cool, the Colosseum of Fools is fantastic. It's probably one of the best additions in the game, even though it's like only a side thing and it doesn't have to do anything with the lore. But it's just really interesting being in this warrior style arena, having to fight like all these enemies, these new enemies which I haven't seen in the kingdom anywhere else. And well, at least some of them, others you have of course seen, but I mean, and the bosses in that, it's mucho grande. Wait, no, that's wrong. Somebody noticed to me that mucho grande just means it's very big. It's muy bien, very good. I think that's it. Muy bien, yeah, that's probably it. Queen's Gardens, also an A tier. A tier, yeah. We haven't gotten to D yet. Queen's Gardens, now that's an interesting one because, you know, as you see, it's kind of like Green Path, but for me it's not as good as Green Path because, for one, the enemies are more annoying. I didn't like the Traitor Lord as much as I did like the Hornet boss fight or something, or the Mantis Lords. The Traitor Mantis wasn't as Traitor Lord, I think, wasn't as interesting as other bosses in the game, but it's still good. And you also get to fight with the other character, which I've forgotten. God damn it! I just need to remember these names. The music's really good. It's not as good as Green Path, but it's still amazing. It's lovely. It's good to listen to. There's not much more to say. I mean, the Queen is an interesting and lore heavy character. You get a lot of lines from her which are insinuating at the bigger lore of the thing. She's important, but I don't know. I just like Green Path always more. For me, it was always like a Green Path light, like an addition. I know it was. I know it used to be a part of it. I think, but for me, it always felt like a less cool version. Resting Grounds is interesting, but not that interesting. It's a B one. Because you get a lot of lore there, especially to the snail, not the snail tribe, the moth tribe. You get a lot of info with the different warriors you see there, which are resting there. It's also with the free dreamers, where you meet them there. I think the first time. It's very lore relevant, but it's not that interesting. You get the Pale Flower quest, I think, there as well. I think it was there. Yeah, I think it is. So there's a lot of interesting concepts there, but it's not really that important, you know. You get a free Dream Warrior boss fights, which are pretty cool. But other than that, there's not really much that forced me to stay there. It was just basically the few aspects I had to do there, I did, and then I just went away. I also used it kind of as a transit area sometimes, but I mean, it wasn't that important. Royal Waterways is hard, because for one, you get the Godmaster part there, which is really good. But also sometimes a bit annoying, but I told you that, I think, in another video. It's also got a cool design, like the whole canal stuff. You meet my favorite boss there, which is the Dung Defender. Probably my favorite boss. Aside maybe the Hive Knight. Hive Knight I also love, that's why that one's going to be important in a minute. But I don't know. I liked it, but I didn't like it that much, so it's also more of a B thing for me. It's looking kind of orderly here. Now the Hive. The Hive is probably the most controversial one, because for one, I really love the idea of the Hive, but I can't really evaluate an idea, like what it's supposed to be. You know, it's got this like bee lore and the bee tribe. That's really interesting. I would have loved to know more about them. But it feels so unfinished in the final game. There's not enough to do there. You've got the thing with the Queen. You've got the thing with the Hive Knight. The Hive Knight I love the music. I love the boss fight. I love everything about him. He's probably one of my favorite bosses in the entire game, even though most people don't really acknowledge him that much. But I don't know. I like the idea and the concept and a few aspects, but it's not really that much to do. And that's the problem. If I would just... If they had expanded a bit more, this would have probably easily been an S tier. But since it feels so half-heartedly and so unfinished, I think it just either B or A. I think I'll have to go with B, because it's just not that developed. Now, this was all pretty interesting, and I have to kind of remember what I put here, because now we're going to review the community rank and what they thought. Damn. Okay, so there are a few area tier lists here, but we're just going to focus on this one. So, this was last updated on the 23rd of May. Oh, that's just a few days ago. S tier, City of Tears, and Green Path, as I told it was expected. A, Kingdom's Edge and Queen's Gardens. Interesting. I put Kingdom's Edge higher because I like them much more, but Queen's Gardens I did. Now B, there's a lot more B here. Hive I put as well. I kind of wish I would have. Remembered what I put, but we're just going to review it. So there's a lot of B, a lot of like center singers like Fungal Waste, Dirtmouth. Dirtmouth? That's an S tier rank, my dude. There's not a lot to do maybe, but it's no. Crystal Peak, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, Ancient Basin, I can get behind that one. Hive, yeah. Justifiable. Forgotten Crossroads I would have put higher. I think I did. But Deepness C, okay, that's even more. I think that's nearly harsher than me, but I mean, hey, okay. Resting Grounds, yeah, it's justifiable because there's not a lot to do in Resting Grounds, is there? I just kind of like the concept and stuff. Fog Canyon, definitely justifiable. I didn't like it that much. Now D, I didn't put anything in D because I did like all the areas. Howling Cliffs, okay, yeah, a bit harsh. There's not a lot to do there, I get it, but it's a great intro level, I think. Royal Waterways, damn. Yeah, that's harsh. That's harsh. Okay, yeah, okay. Let's look at another one. Okay, based on music, ambient, sub-areas, enemies, I'm looking at you, Waterways. Lore, sub-areas from best to worst, God Home, Wild Palace, The Abyss, Fall, Colosseum, Fields. Okay, yeah, I think that's as far. I didn't like God Home that much. I did like the White Palace more, I must admit. Oh dear, gorgeous, City of Tears, yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's a great area. I think most people have it as their, like, favorite areas, or at least in the top tier ranks. Need, Fungal Waste, Green Path, Queen's Garden, Kingdom's Edge. See, it's basically the same as mine. Yeah. It's cool to hang out, resting grounds. I didn't really like to hang out in the resting grounds. I felt it was boring. Crystal Peak, yeah. Great music as I said. Dirtmouth, fair. That's fair, yeah. Forgotten Crossroads, also fair. Use it more of a transit area, I think. Wouldn't live there. Ancient Basin, Fort Canyon, Highland Cliffs, and the Hive. Yeah, a bit harsh on the Hive. I did like to hang out in the Hive. I didn't do that much there, but I mean, okay. Highland Cliffs, yeah. I think that's justifiable. All. Oh, what's this? There's worms, disturbing sounds, lack of light. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's fair. Deepness and waterways, they do not get that good critics. I thought they were really loved by the community, but maybe I'm just... I mean, I've reviewed 2 now, so maybe I'm just kind of contemplating here. But that was some good reviews. Now, what is your opinion? How would you rank them? How would you rank these areas here? You can all see again how... it was weird that the Abyss wasn't on here. I think people just kind of noted it to the Ancient Basin because it's kind of connected to that one. I would have kind of put it as a separate area, to be honest, because there's so much revelation. I didn't really think about that when I judged the Ancient Basin, that I have to do, because that might have altered my view on it, because I did really like the White Palace and like the whole story plot down there. I didn't like it that much. It always felt annoying to go downwards here, and then having to go up again. That was annoying. Couldn't they just implement a lift? But I mean, the whole thing with the forgot what its name was. God damn it. With the blue, not petals, but like with the blue worm and stuff with the lifeblood. That was it. That was also interesting. A little bit of party living, giving a bit of speculation on the lifeblood lore. Others, Hive, yeah, as I said, wasn't that developed. Kingdom's Edge was really good. I love that. Royal Waterways, meh, I don't know. City of Tears, fantastic. As I said, I already reviewed all of them. I don't need to do it here again, but just that maybe you can tell me what you think in the comments below. Were my rankings accurate? Were they stupid? What do you think of the other people's rankings, which I had here and stuff? And just give me your general feedback down in the comments below, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Farewell, dear viewer.